Hey guys, what's up? Max here with another video. This week I want to talk about one of the most fundamental skills that every banjo player should have that I don't see being discussed nearly enough, and that is how to play any note across the fretboard in any given key. Béla Fleck has a great story where he talks about how he was stuck in this open position of the neck, then he saw Chick Corea Return to Forever, and he realized that they all have the same notes that he has on his banjo, and he learned his patterns across the neck, and it really freed him up to do whatever he wanted for improvisation or for writing a song. And that's exactly the reason why you want to learn these patterns. You want to be free to play the right note anywhere across the neck. So how do we get there? Well, first things first, I want to develop a vertical view of the scale first. So I will just go up single strings. And this is so easy that a beginner can do it. And I will play that whole step, half step, whole step, half step formula, which gives me the major scale up the center G string. So I'll start on G, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And that's a nice vertical view of the notes in the key of G up that center G string. Next up, I'll start on G on the B string, which is the 8th fret, and I will do the exact same thing. Then I'll find G on the D strings, it's on the 5th fret. Okay. So here's an image of what that looks like. I have on the left the G major scale going up the G string with the flag planted on G because that's my home bass, and I have that set of intervals going up for the G major scale. I have the 8th fret on the next string down. Now, because this image cuts off at the 12th fret, you see I can go up to B and then play C down on the 1st fret and go up from there. And the same thing with the D strings. I'll start on the 5th fret, I can go up to D, continue on up from there, or I also have these notes behind as well. So when you start up higher on the neck, you gotta realize that you have some real estate behind you as well, so get used to that. Next up, I have my 5 patterns. I wanna get a horizontal view across the fretboard, and each one of my 5 patterns represents a small chunk of the neck. I will start on G, again, center of the banjo universe. I will play my first pattern, and then every pattern connects like a puzzle piece after that. So my pattern 2 will start on the 7th fret, my pattern 3 will start on the 9th fret, etc. So here is my pattern 1. I have my red root note starting on G. Now F sharp is that 4th fret right behind, so I'm going to play that just because I want to be aware of all the notes in the key. And this is where I need to use my single string right hand method, where I just alternate thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. That might be a new thing for you, but it's just like we're adapting how to pick a guitar for banjo. So this is a very easy pattern, very symmetrical. I just go 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. And I'll just run that up and down. And you can hear how it just ends on G. Again, the reason we're doing this is because if I go up to A, B is on the 9th fret up from there. Instead of jumping up a position, I will just play that B on the next string down, okay? So I'm utilizing the tuning to create this position that is just in one area of the neck. So next up, I'll play my pattern 2 that starts up on the 7th fret since the pattern 1 ended there on the 7th fret, and I'll just play up and down that. Now notice that I end on A, which doesn't have a resolution, so I can go down to G to end it there, or I can end it on that red note, that 8th fret on the B string. Moving right along, pattern 3. And same thing, I will come back up to that 12th fret to hear that G major resolution. Here's pattern 4. And then finally my pattern 5. You might not be able to see it. Okay, once I finish my pattern 5, I can just continue on with pattern 1. Going up the neck. So I have this set of scale patterns, and I like to use the analogy of like a conveyor belt, okay? Once I reach the 5th pattern, then that first pattern starts over. And the same thing happens when I shift up these patterns into a different key. So for instance, if I shift into the key of C, everything gets moved up to the 10th fret, and then those patterns that come off of the fretboard down here are now back at the start of the fretboard. So here's a complete picture of all 5 patterns in the key of G, and I can see how they interconnect. And I can also see how my pattern 5 that I played up on the 14th fret also exists down here on the 2nd fret as well. After I've got those 5 patterns down, I can practice diagonal patterns, which is where I will start on the pattern 1 and I will flow through the next 3 patterns, and that gives these patterns a little more life because it shows how I can transition between them instead of just being stuck in one pattern. So I'll start on my pattern 1. Once I get up to the 7th fret, I will shift into the next pattern. And then once I get up to the 10th fret on pattern 2, I will shift into the next pattern there. So I go all the way from the 4th fret on the D string to the 12th fret on the bottom D string. And it covers a lot of real estate, and it allows you to see how those patterns connect in a different way. Next, I'll play my diagonal pattern B. I'll start on the 3rd pattern, get up to the 12th fret, shift into the 14th fret, get through pattern 4, and then shift up through the pattern 5. So I go all the way from the 9th fret to the 17th fret. So that covers a lot of ground, and it gives you also a very playable way to flow through the patterns. And finally, we'll talk about Béla Fleck's 7 patterns. He's the greatest player of all time, so it's worthwhile to learn his 7 patterns, which add a little bit of a challenge compared to my 5 patterns. You can also call these modal patterns. So for instance, if I start on the 2nd note of the scale, you're actually playing a Dorian scale. I just like to think of it like we're playing just the major scale across the entire neck. And each of Béla's patterns has a 2-3-2-2 pattern, meaning I have 2 notes on the D string, 3 notes on the center G, 2 notes on the B, and 2 notes on the bottom D. The downside is that some of these patterns are awkward as hell to play, so I feel like my 5 patterns are a little bit more comfortable, a little more accessible. If I look at Béla Fleck's pattern 1, it almost looks exactly like my pattern 1, except I don't play that F sharp. And again, I have that 2-3-2-2 pattern. So 5-7-4, 5-7, 5-7, 5. So that's his pattern 1. Now I look at his pattern 2. I have a big stretch there from 7 to 9 and then back to C5 on the next string down. So that's a different perspective. They're the same notes of my 5 patterns, and the same notes of those vertical patterns. It's just a different way of playing them. Pattern 3. Pattern 4. Pattern 5. Pattern 6, pattern 7, and then I'm back to my pattern 1. Okay, so that's just a different way to play the exact same scale patterns from my vertical scales, from my 5 patterns, from those diagonal patterns. They're the exact same notes, it's just a different way of playing them. And because this is such a big subject that we're covering in a short amount of time, I'm gonna put a link below for the tab for all of these scale patterns. That way you can practice these on your own. So to recap, I'm gonna start with those vertical scale patterns, just going up single strings. Anyone can play G major going up the center string, and going up on any string after that. Next, I have my 5 patterns, which I developed just as a simple way to connect all of the patterns across the neck. I can do those diagonal patterns to flow through 3 patterns at a time. And then I've also got Béla Fleck's 7 scale patterns to stretch my hands in a different way and to give me a unique perspective. And again, there's a link in the description for all of this tab. And guess what? This is only one key, the key of G. If I want to practice the key of F, I'll just move everything down 2 frets and play up from there. If I want to practice the key of C, I'll move pattern 1 all the way up to the 10th fret and practice up and down from there. So it's a lot of practice, but again, it frees you up to play any note anywhere across the neck in any given key, and it's just one of the most important skills you can have. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.